In 1951, a democracy existed in a country where the West says democracy cannot exist. A man had been elected by his people. He wore suits. He cried in public. He believed in the law. His name was Mohammad Mossadegh, and he had one idea that would destroy him. The idea was simple. The oil beneath his country's soil belonged to his country. For decades, a foreign company had extracted that oil, had sold it, had kept the profits. His country received 8% of what its own oil was worth. 8%. He nationalized the oil industry. He made it belong to his people. The world called it theft. London was furious. The company that had owned the oil was British. It had shareholders. It had politicians. They called for sanctions. They called for isolation. They tried to strangle the economy from the outside. But the elected government held, the people held, the Prime Minister held. So London went to Washington. And Washington saw something London did not mention. They did not call it a coup. They called it a security operation. They gave it a name, Operation Ajax. 80 days, a budget of several $1 million, and a simple objective: remove the elected leader. The operation had two phases. First, make the country believe it was falling apart. Second, offer a solution. Agents were sent in. They paid newspapers to print lies. They paid mobs to cause chaos. They paid religious figures to denounce the government. Riots appeared in the streets. But the riots had authors. The authors were not in the streets. The Prime Minister declared martial law, which was then used as proof that he was a dictator. The trap had closed. Every move he made was the wrong move, because the moves had been designed that way. On the night of August 15th, 1953, the operation began. Military units loyal to the operation moved through the city. The Prime Minister escaped. The first attempt had failed. Washington nearly called it off, but London said wait. They tried again 2 days later. On August 19th, the mobs were back. Larger this time, more organized, more paid. The radio announced that the Prime Minister had been overthrown. He had not been, but the announcement made it true. By the end of the day, it was over. 53 hours from start to finish. One elected government removed. The Prime Minister was arrested. He was tried. He was sentenced to 3 years and then placed under house arrest until he died. The former leader of the oil company was returned to power. The foreign oil contracts were reinstated. The operation was declared a success. The files were classified. The world moved on. The leader who replaced him ruled for 26 years. He was supported by the West. He was feared by his people. His secret police became notorious. Torture became systematic. Opposition became a death sentence. For 26 years, the anger built. Quietly, in homes, in mosques, in whispers. In 1979, it erupted. The revolution that followed was not what anyone had planned. It was what happens when a generation grows up knowing it was cheated. The government that emerged from that revolution has shaped the Middle East ever since. Every conflict in the region that followed, every proxy war, every nuclear negotiation, every act of hostility carries the DNA of those 53 hours. The hostage crisis of 1979, the nuclear program, the support of armed groups across the region. These are not random. They are replies. In 2013, 60 years later, the agency that ran the operation officially admitted it had happened. The admission changed nothing, but it confirmed everything. Here is what we know. A democracy was removed because it tried to own its own resources. The removal created a dictatorship. The dictatorship created a revolution. The revolution created a government that became the greatest adversary the West had ever made for itself in the region. The operation cost a few $1 million and 53 hours. Its consequences are still being paid. There is a word for the idea that governments have the right to control their own resources. It is called sovereignty. In 1953, sovereignty lost. What won instead has never fully explained itself. The files are mostly open now. The names are known. The money is documented. The plan is confirmed. History does not always announce itself. Sometimes it arrives as a riot that was not a riot, as a headline that was not true, as a coup that was called something else. Operation Ajax lasted 53 hours. Its shadow is still here. If this changed the way you see the world, subscribe now, because every story we tell is connected to the last one, and the next one will change something else.